Welcome back to Porch Light Sessions with Elizabeth and Alicia. And today we have Nick Crouch with Holy Ground Property Maintenance and John Davis with Arrow Exterminators here in Blairsville. You guys can take your turns, but just introduce yourselves, what you do, how long you've been in Blairsville, all the services you offer.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Davis. I've been in Blairsville for 40 years. Growed up here and graduated 1996 from Union County High School and been with Arrow 18 years.
I am Nick Crouch, owner of Holy Ground Property Maintenance. I've been in Blairsville 22 years, originally from Florida. I don't know if I should say that. Originally from Florida. People don't like Florida.
And that's okay. She's from Florida.
I'm from Florida too.
Liz
So.
is from Florida too. I also used to work for Arrow Exterminators, left Arrow, started my own business and do a variety of landscaping, lawn care, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, junk hauling, variety of different things, for different services.
John, what kind of services does Arrow offer? Is it just termites?
No, we offer pest control, termite protection, carpenter bee, and then we also have a handyman service that also offers installation, gutters, gutter guards.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, and they'll wildlife exclusions and stuff like that. So we're all service company, but it is two different offices. But we can handle it all.
What should a seller do before listing a home to avoid surprises?
I would always do a termite inspection, always, because you don't want that red flag to throw up when you got a buyer. I mean, not that it's a big deal. A lot of times they can talk to me and I can calm them down because when people hear termites, they're like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. But I would always do it. That way you get all the work done and then there's nothing that you have to explain. You can always say, when you get your WDO letter, it'll show, hey, it had previous termites, but it's took care of and now you got a 1-year guarantee. And that tends to, smooth everything over. And there's no surprises.
Not everybody knows what WDO is. So
Wood
what is?
destroying organisms. Yeah, it's what a lot of people call termite letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people need to realize that on a termite letter, it's not just a termite letter. We're not just looking for termites. We're looking for fungus, powder post beetles, old wood-borne beetles, and stuff like that. So we're just not looking for termites.
Okay. If someone wants a termite inspection done before they list, is there a cost for that?
No, just a termite inspection is free because we don't have to write it on an official Georgia form. So I can go out there, take a look at it, and I can give a verbal for free or even a pre-list, inspection list that says, this is what I recommend. So, it doesn't cost nothing. Okay. Yep.
And what about you, Nick? What should someone do to prepare for a listing?
I think landscaping. You don't want to pull up to a house and it don't have fresh mulch, possibly. Plants. Sometimes there's high grass. You're walking into you don't want to walk into a forest. Gutter cleaning, pressure washing. Could have a grime and dirt, mold. I say mold, but more like pollen on the siding. Decks, porches. Everything just kind of touched up, freshened up.
Yeah, I would say especially after the fall when the leaves fall and a lot of
Yes.
people don't take care of that.
Yeah, lots
and
of
the leaves are
leaves.
everywhere in the gutters everywhere. And then in the
Roots.
springtime, the pollen
Yep.
is
Because
super.
if the leaves sit too long, you could have that mold built up, and then it just sits on the mulch and sits on the rock and your driveway, and then it just leaves a mess.
Right.
So just clean it up.
So what's an affordable upgrade that instantly improves a home's exterior?
Freshening up mulch beds if they have any mulch beds, small plants, trees, stain if you need some stain or paint.
Do you do staining and painting also?
More staining. I love exterior work more than
Okay.
interior work, kind of like Terry Helton
Okay.
earlier. He's more of like
We can
painter.
call Terry for painting.
And I would call him every day. Yeah, anytime contracting work, I would call Terry. But yeah, staining porches, enjoy staining, and then pressure washing as well. I think just something simple that would help with the listing. Getting a buyer in there to see, the touch ups instead of just spending a whole bunch of money on landscaping, big old rocks and cross tie walls, which I don't recommend cross tie walls. I'd rather do a block wall. Investment wise, it's a smarter decision on that.
Do you do the soft washing on roofs also?
Depending on the roof size.
Okay.
I do have ladders that can get up pretty high. I just don't have nothing to tie off to. but I will, as long as it's something reachable. It's just something I have to look at
Okay.
when
You
I go
could come out.
come out and
check
just,
it.
yeah. And if not, I have other contractors that I can give a lead to, refer to on those jobs. So, yeah.
John, if an inspection finds pests, should buyers panic?
No, all pests can be handled, pretty good. I've seen very few houses that I would tell anybody just to walk away, but
Okay.
I have seen houses like that.
Okay.
And I usually say, hey, you probably need to get a structural engineer out here to take a look at what's going on. But I mean, for the most part, you can catch it early enough where there's no big concerns and we can get rid of it. And, a lot of people ask me, should I tear out this wall? Well, and a lot of times if you beat on the sheetrock, you can hear the termite mud fall. And if that's the case, I would say, yes, you'd probably want to open it up. But a lot of times, it takes a lot for a termite to eat, one stud. But when you start seeing them higher in the wall, you think maybe there's a problem. But, for the most part, they don't need to panic. And if they do, they can call me and I'll try to, I'm not a structural engineer, but I can say, hey, it's not that bad.
Okay.
So
Is it typically termites or wood?
usually the two things that cause damage to your house is termites and carpenter bees.
Carpenter bees.
And that's
Okay.
the two that I tell people that you need to, protect your house from.
Okay.
John, if every homeowner in North Georgia did one thing this spring to protect their home, what would you recommend?
Well, a lot of that will determine on what kind of house is it. Is it a log house? Then I would require two of them, and that would be carpenter bee and termites. But, a lot of people think, hey, I got a hardy board house, I don't have to worry about termites. Well, it's not the hardy board you have to worry about, it's what's behind it. So Georgia's number 2 in the whole United States for termites. So that would probably be my number 1. Hey, you want to protect it from termites. Because the old saying around here, it's not if, it's when. Mm-hmm. So that would probably be my number 1.
And I've heard a lot. Well, my house is hardy plank, and one thing that we've noticed every year is the carpenter ants.
Yes.
And also we have that foam insulation, and they've said that that's an issue also. Some people think that's good, and some people say that's bad because you don't know what's behind it.
You can't get behind it.
Yeah, a lot of homes that we go to, and I'm assuming you're referring to the spray foam.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
So we do have spray foam policies that in some situations we do have to come out and look at it to see if we can do anything. But a lot of times we have to walk away from spray foam because they hide so many.
So you mean
So
you
many
couldn't give
problems.
a clear termite letter
Correct.
because of spray foam because you
Yes.
can't see what's behind it?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times they're leaving the 4 inches from the top plate in the crawl spaces and stuff. So, we can inspect it that way. But if it's all spray foam, we just have to walk away from it.
Okay.
It just hides so much. And it's good also for, carpenter ants like you're talking about, because carpenter ants love moisture in the wood, that soft wood. So they chew a nest. They don't eat the wood, they chew it for a nest. And that's what they do to the spray foam. So it's real easy for them to make a nest out of the spray foam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's why they keep coming back.
Nick, are there any landscaping issues that scare buyers away?
Yeah, I think people, if you're listing a home and they pull up to the house, and say if there's a koi pond or water features or pools, swimming pools in the ground, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with those. I'd say those. I don't really know if those were landscaping issues, but as a yard guy, it kind of is for us because we're mowing around the yard and shooting, grass and weeds and stuff to the pool or to the koi pond, or we're having to cover them for people. It's like John. I know John does carpentry services. You can't do carpentry services around koi ponds unless it's covered.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or even if there's honeybees around as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's koi ponds don't want to have grading. If there's grading's like really bad, soil's really soft around the house. There's a lot of different, or if they have block cross tie walls up against the house that looks like they're deteriorating. That's why rock or Belgard rock is what it's just big old block, and it holds really well. So nothing cracked on the foundation on the outside. Any kind of soil or water erosion, going towards the house. You know,
I notice a lot of when we do inspections that in the basement area,
Yeah.
when any kind of water intrusion is in, not all the time, but a lot of times it's because the downspouts are clogged
Yeah.
and the water is getting into the basement and they should be
Yeah.
going out.
Going
So
out.
if they could just clear the gutters
Yeah.
and
And that's
do
the
that.
thing. So you have a downspout that's coming out, but there's nothing running out towards, away from the house. It's all running down, around the foundation.
It just sits there
It just
around the
sits, and then
foundation.
over time, you just have, it could have rotten wood, rotten siding.
Yeah.
Or
Whereas
rotten
if they
rock.
called you and did a maintenance service of
Yep.
just clearing the gutters and clearing
Yep.
all that, the
Yep.
fallen leaves and all of that.
Yeah, and we also install not gutters but downspouts. So if we had to do some digging to get the water away from the house, that's something we could do. And then always recommend like rock mulch. If you put mulch around the house, it's just gonna, and you have water that's coming down, it's just gonna run. It's gonna wash. You want something a little bit heavier, so like more like a river rock if it is affordable for the homeowner to purchase river rock or surge rock, riprap, which is a little bit bigger in size. I recommend rock around the foundation more than mulch, and that's another bug issue. You're putting wood, wood chips around the house that could, during the spring and summer months, carpenter ants, bugs love it, along with bushes. You don't want crazy bushes up against the house as well because it's just attachment. If it's attached to the house, close to the house, it's bad, for bug wise, and just it doesn't look good.
Okay. So rock.
Yeah,
Rock.
rock is the
When
way.
you're talking about soil erosion a few minutes ago,
Yeah,
that made me think. I've had a lot of buyers who'll be looking out and they make comments about how I guess you could say the yard is sloped towards the house instead of away from the house,
Yeah.
and they're worried about water pooling around there. So do you offer being able to come in and kind of make the slope away from the house?
I don't do grading. We do have a machine. It's not the best. It's just a little tractor with a front end loader. So I would contract that out to somebody else. But I do have a dump trailer, so we can bring in rock, and we do lay rock out. So
And sometimes that will help, and
it would
be maybe a cheaper-
to detour, to get that water flowing in a different direction from the house. But you also want to be able to probably dig. Get it if you need to get it flat, if you need to dig it this way or dig it whatever side. It's if the water's going towards your house, you want it away from the house. Yeah, yep.
So, John, last question for you is what's cheaper, long-term prevention or waiting until after something happens, something comes up and you have to treat it?
Right. Prevention is definitely cheaper just because, you're protecting your house from anything happening. And like I said, it's a lot cheaper to go ahead and treat your house and prevent it instead of waiting for something to happen. Just like I said, with homeowners insurance, you just you pay it, but you don't know if you can't protect your house from a tornado or something like that. At least you're protecting yourself from having a problem. And there's been a lot of houses I go into, people say, hey, I haven't seen anything, but you don't want to see anything because then it's too late.
right.
So definitely, you have your annual treatment or your initial treatment, then you have an annual fee every year, and then Arrow will come out and inspect your home every year to make sure that, because obviously we want to make sure that we catch the problem before it gets too big. So, you get an inspection every year also. So I would definitely say prevention.
So as part of prevention, that would be like a termite bond.
Well, yes. So there's a lot of misconception with a bond and a guarantee.
Okay.
They used to call them bonds years ago, and I think the best way I understand it is they just set a little bit of money back, and then when you got a problem, they would use that money that they sent back to fix the problem. Now it's more of a guarantee, so you're covered 100%. Like Arrow has no caps and no deductibles. So if termites ate your whole house down, we'd have to fix it.
If you had that.
If you had that
insurance
guarantee
in place.
Yes, and we
Okay.
do offer two types of guarantees. We have a retreat only, and we do have a damage guarantee. Not all houses, qualify for a damage guarantee. We have to come out and inspect it because obviously we're not going to give a damage guarantee on a house when the crawl space is this high off the ground.
But there's a
You
room,
know-
a room you can't enter.
Yeah,
The
and we
crawl
can't
space
enter
is-
all
yeah.
the places in the crawl space. So your house has to qualify for that. But still, even if we can't do it, it's always good. If we can't give you a damage guarantee, it's always good to at least get a retreat only because you're still preventing, and we're still coming out there, every year to inspect it, and we're going to catch it before it gets too bad once we, inspect it once a year. So
Okay.
both guarantees are good, but obviously the damage is better. But I would still, if we don't offer the damage to you, then a retreat only is also good because
Go
we're
with-
still
go with the
keeping our
service.
eyes on it.
You still want to put protection around the house.
Yeah,
Either way.
we still want to protect it, and you really, it's more important if your crawl space is that off the ground or places that's really tight to get into. That prevention is even more important because it's
Okay.
easier for them to get in.
So if my seller has a termite guarantee and they sell their home, will that transfer to their new buyer
Yes, it's transferable at no cost.
at no cost?
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Okay.
What landscaping maintenance should people realistically budget for annually?
So say someone buys a home and they own the home. I think if you're going to hire a lawn guy, you hired them for bi-weekly mows or monthly mows. So budget hiring this landscaper or this lawn guy for either putting in rock, mulch, your weekly mows, your monthly mows, because that could add up, $2,000 to $3,000, for the year. 8 months we're usually mowing. From about March till October is about the last mow for landscapers, lawn care professionals. Budget any kind of landscaping needs. If you want to put in rock, it don't have to be rock. You could do mulch. I've had so many mulch styles, and people love the mulch. They love the black, the red, the brown. But I do, if you can save up for rock, I always recommend rock. It's a one and done thing. You just lay it down and you're good to go. But I think lawn care is the biggest thing. And we have a lot of people coming from Florida, the second homes, or it's just they're retirees moving in and older people. So they're not wanting to mow their grass anymore. And so they got to put in a budget. Well, I bought this home for $500,000-$600,000 or whatever it is. And we live on a mountain and they're not going to usually mow their grass or weed eat their grass. So they want to budget. I think budgeting lawn care, landscaping, pulling weeds, planting trees, planting flowers.
Right.
So just, they bought this home, they want to make it look good. So I think budgeting flowers, plants, lawn care maintenance is the biggest key for homeowners
Okay.
on that.
Along with that, do you think you need your gutters cleaned annually?
Yes. Yeah. I think probably I've done a couple where it's about 2 times a year.
Okay.
It's like fall. And then I try to do a cleaning of the gutters, not just on the inside, but the outside. Like over time, you get all that runoff on the sides of the gutters. So we do like a scrub and a solution with it, which it's a little extra on that. But I think just, cleaning out the gutters as well, make sure they're flowing good on the downspouts. If they need, downspouts that don't have the runoff to get away from the house, we can offer that as well.
So again, like he said, prevention
Yep.
with the water is much cheaper than having to fix
Exactly.
once the water gets settled into your foundation.
Yeah, because water brings in bugs.
Absolutely.
Carpenter ants, termites, all types of critters. And then, of course, we're on our end of it, plant plants. You don't want plants up against the house because it also brings in carpenter ants and all types of bugs and stuff. So just, landscaping wise, that's why I'm not a huge fan of the mulch, because it's just up against the house. I don't mind if it's like around an island away from the house, but up against the house, it's just bringing in moisture concerns. It's pieces of wood. So, I just rather use rock. Rock is like the best thing.
Good tip.
Yeah. And back on landscaping, if you do have any limbs touching the house,
Yes.
no matter if we're treating or not, especially when we're treating around the foundation. So if they're climbing a tree and getting on your roof, they just missed everything that we put out. They're not crossing our product around the house. So once they get on the roof, they can go wherever they want to.
Ah, yeah.
So it makes it easier. And we always recommend, hey, you need to cut the bushes away from the house because that will help, your pest problems also.
When we invited John on the podcast, we didn't know that he had an announcement.
Yes, I'm running for school board in District 2 for Union County. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear your questions on Facebook. You can ask me anything. You'll have my number. It'll be on Facebook, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Vote for John.
Congratulations. So if anybody needs to reach out to either of you, I think your contact information is going to be
On screen.
on the
I
screen.
think.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add or any?
Thanks for having us on. We appreciate
Thanks for
it.
Thank
coming.
you.
We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Appreciate
loved
it.
it.
Yeah.